Hello there, you yummy piece of chocolate from the fridge. We're going to go through some altcoins, PulseChain altcoins and anything else. Please, for the love of God, don't FOMO anything. I have time-sensitive news. Now, I don't care. This is not an excuse. Because it's time-sensitive, yeah, we can lose all our money tomorrow. In fact, it could be already zero right now, and I can't see crap. So I'm just going to show you what's going on. All right? Now, no mention is any endorsement of any coin. I'm just alerting you. This is just a game, man. This is the game. Okay, if you don't want to participate, sweet. Go buy strong core altcoins. Go buy government bonds. I don't really care. Let's continue. pDAI. So pDAI this is cracker, friends. This is the 3-day chart, and it's flipped green on the SuperTrend. This is, by the way, this is pulse pricing. All right, this is the pulse ratio. If you change it to the USD ratio, you can see that it started to scream up here. So I know a lot of people don't like buying up here. What it effectively means is you see this move. I know, friends, you all you love watching this. I know these things are great because they move up, and you guys don't even actually really care about the pulse pricing. But I care about the pulse pricing because I want to know, even if your chart is screaming through the top, are you actually cheap? I want to know that. All right. So this tells you, hey man, you're actually still cheap. Surprise. Now, what does this mean though, right? How can this go up here? This can go up by pulse, the actual pulse chain dropping like 70%. That's one way this can go up. Another way this can go up is if this literally just goes up 3.8x, which is this amount, while pulse stays flat. Or another way is this does like double that while pulse does a 2x. You can see it doesn't really matter. If you were to play this chart, this means to rotate pulse into this. Now, I don't like doing that. Why? It's because these altcoins are just way too cheap for it. They're cheap on USD. They're cheap against ratios. They're cheap against Cardano. They're cheap against ETH, Bitcoin. All of them are cheap against anything. By the way, once again, can go to zero. If these go to zero right now, I don't care. We all deserve to lose money, okay? If you're not built out for the game, please, friends, go drink some soy milk, hunch your back, and go exist somewhere else. I'm saying pDAI, this is significant. This is the green 3-day SuperTrend. If I change it on the weekly, you can see now the weekly, it has not flipped green. It's still a while away. But I mean, this is how it forms, right? First, it flips on like the 4-hour, 8-hour, and then the 12-hour daily. But as you get higher in time frames, it becomes significant. With these faster moving altcoins, what I've noticed is weekly is pretty much useless. Okay, because weekly is such a long time frame. Weekly is good for PulseChain, PulseX, and HEX, and I'll show you those right now. If you look at them, just because they're obviously more kind of stable, they're more established. Look at this. This is the weekly chart for Pulse. See how this flipped green right here? This flipped green up here when we flipped. Look at that. It's now green, and now we're waiting to see what happens next. But you can see as soon as it flips, it's really, really, really significant. This is also Atropa, friends. Atropa, same thing. This is the 3-day on the Pulse pricing. All right. So, if you look at the weekly, once again, same story, right? Weekly is nowhere near, but the 3-day significant. Now, let's say you don't know about the coin, you don't know about anything, how you participate. Well, look, you just put a moving average, right? There's no secret in these, friends. There's no secret. It's funny. People are going to try to sell you indicators in the bull market, showing you how to make money and stuff. It's all a load of bullshit. All right, I'll tell you how to make money. All right, you wear your little Pokemon hat like me, Ash Ketchum, and you go catch every single freaking Pokemon you can. Even if you don't like them, I don't care. You go look at the Telegram, you say, oh my gosh, you guys keep tagging everyone on Twitter. You guys keep getting mentioned on YouTube videos, okay? For example, my friend, Coexistence Steven, who's actually our friend, who exists together with us. Thank you for existing, Stevie. He's really big on the Atropa ecosystem, and I like how he charts all the ratios. He learned, basically, I taught him everything I know, friends. It's kind of funny. I like seeing stuff like this, and, even if you don't like the pDAI to $1 narrative, forget it, friends. Forget it. There was a HEX narrative that HEX is going to take over the world and stuff. So narratives and stories, they mean nothing. All right. It's like, you watch a movie, friend. You can watch a movie. You can watch like a kid's movie, and it can be like a 3D animation movie. And it can be like one of those really cool, like King Arthur type of movies or adventure movie. And, there's parts where the creators will try to manipulate your emotions to try give you fear and stuff. Like, for example, Lion King. You know, I watched Lion King. Still, if I watch Lion King today, I'm like, oh, Mufasa, Scar, you gotta get her. You know what I mean? Like, you still get that, you get this emotional reaction. And you know, you're like, man, do you ever sit back and go, man, why am I getting this upset over a cartoon? Oh, you don't never dare to say something like that about Lion King. No. Go, Simba, go. All right, so it's the same thing here. I want you to know that it's a simulation, okay? Things are predetermined. There's destiny, there's fate. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on, friends. Our brains can't even comprehend, okay? Now, when you're interpreting these, let yourself get emotionally caught up in the cycle. It's okay to do that because I know don't fight it, all right? Don't fight it. That's what I'm saying. When you watch Lion King, yeah, get upset that Scar is starting to win. You do get upset. But how do you act, okay? You know when Scar starts winning, you don't go break the lamp over like your neighbor's head. You know what I mean? You don't get that angry. You just go, oh, and then, okay, let's continue, you know? And also at the end of the movie, you get really happy. You don't go like, wow, I'm so happy and euphoric. Let me go gamble on the slot machines or something at the pub. Do you know what I mean? I'm using these extreme examples because this is literally exactly what happens in crypto. So when you're seeing these narratives, Atropa, pDAI ecosystem, is anything going to peg or do? It's just a movie, man. It's just a movie. You're in a club. There's people outside of the club. They're trying to get in. That's it. Stop judging. The only reason I am where I am today is because I don't judge. All right? You can learn a thing or two from the Bible, friends. Okay? Jesus said, whoever hasn't caught the best Pokemon, start learning from the best Pokemon trainers. What does he mean by that? The reason why undervalued crypto shoots up so much is because there becomes a meta, like a mind frame of everybody saying, well, you're not valued much because, you know, your story sucks. Like HEX, oh, your story sucks. Or Richard Hart, the top hat dude twerking, it sucks. They say that. That's okay. I'm telling you, Metcalfe's law says you increase the number of people, your value goes parabolic. It does not say you need a certain amount of US citizens and females with blue hair and rich dudes and all these other twinks and Reddit mods. It doesn't say anything like that. It doesn't discriminate people. You just need more people. So stop judging the groups of people out there. Of course, if you're watching my channel, friends, you don't judge, okay? You guys, you're guys, girls, pups, squirrels, everyone else, you know, you're reflections of me. I know you don't do that, but I'm just showing you, why do other people suck? It's because they come, ha ha ha, my coin is the righteous one. No, you're not, man. Your coin's a Pokemon as well. It's just, you're a freaking Ghastly, all right? You're acting like you're a freaking Charizard. You're not. So when I see this thing flipping the 3-day SuperTrend, pay attention. That's all I'm saying. Pay attention. Now, please, I'm not saying to do this. Take your own risk. But let's say you had Pulse to play this ratio. Okay, this is, remember, owning Atropa. So if you own Atropa, you are long both of these charts. Do you understand? It's just that, which currency are you spending to buy it? If you have Pulse, let's say someone had like, hey, I want to throw 1 million Pulse into something. If you bought here, and then at some point in a year, you sold, let's say it actually goes like 2x above. You sold up here, you make 10x on that 1 million. You make 10 times your Pulse. You have 1 million Pulse here. You have 10 million Pulse up here. Once again, gotta clarify. Friends, I'm literally a dude on the internet wearing a Pokemon Ash Ketchum hat. That's how you play the ratio. You don't need to, because no one really cares. I know what you guys care about. You guys, see, this is, okay. I love these charts, because I'm like, oh, sweet, cheap. You guys don't like that chart. You guys were like, whoa, this thing is going up to the moon. You guys love these charts, all right? Now, isn't it wonderful? I can actually just show you. This is the things that's happening. It's time sensitive. Remember, it's a 3-day chart, friends. And yeah, man, we're running out of time. So I like stuff. I'm just not going to like stuff forever. That's it. There are prices too cheap, prices in the middle, and then there were prices too expensive. So prices in the middle, I'm like, I'm happy and excited, but I'm just saying like they're not cheap anymore. So that's where you got to get your mind at. If we have a look at Teddy Bear as well, Teddy Bear, friends, you see this? By the way, if you just saw this chart, okay, just have a look at this. Okay, if you just saw up to this chart, you'd think, oh my gosh, this is bearish as hell. Right? Luckily, you got a friend like me. You're like, oh my gosh, you can't go up. This is bearish as hell. Luckily, okay, look at this weird move, by the way. Luckily, your friend saw me here, told you to chart it on the pulse pricing, friends. Let's put it on a 3-day pulse pricing. Look at this. Now you can see, okay, now you can see what's going on. Now you can see it was still cheap the whole time. You know, I've got to clarify it. It's okay. I've got to repeat myself many times. Many people, it's in the cheap zone. I like it. As soon as it exits, I say nothing. And then people say, you are a frauder. You blah, blah, blah. Just, it's funny. I love reading the comments like that. And then it goes back into the cheap zone, like here. Okay, this is exactly here, friends. It's in the cheap zone. By the way, I didn't even have it. I didn't even have it, and I told people about it. I was waiting for lower. It popped up. And people said, you are a scammer. You. And then it comes back down here into the cheap zone. See this box right here? It comes back in, and I'm like, hey, man, it's cheap against PulseChain. And people say, no, you got donated to you. I don't know. I love seeing it because it keeps reminding me how early we are. That's what you love seeing, friends. That's like another sitting duck out in the pond waiting to be shot with a little pellet gun, because a little BB gun. Because you want to see that. You don't want to see people like figuring out your strategy. Now, the wonderful part about all of this is even if you did figure out my strategy, you can't beat me or outdo me, because we're on 3-day and weekly charts. So like, unless if you really want to commit a lot of time to doing it, you can. You know, we're all in this together, and that's why, friends, I don't want to be grifted myself. I don't want people to take over my edge. That's why I'm sharing it with you, because you can't do this on a weekly. You can't outperform this on. That's why I choose that time frame, because you just can't, friends. How they outperform is this is actually what's the risk. The risk is with these, it's not these little short-term use catalyst pumping ups. The risk is that because your size is so big, you can't actually exit out, and that at certain critical points of the market, either like you sell and it goes up without you, because then you can't get back in. That's one thing. You know, that actually happens, friends. Like let's say you had like a big part of supply and the liquidity is so thin, and you spend like 3 weeks unloading, and then it just goes up without you. You literally can't get back in at all. Like you are finished. Also on the downside, you know, but you got to see in the Bitcoin bear market, no one really cares. Like you have week after week after week after week. This is the beautiful part about being early to crypto. So this is the teddy bear chart again. Look at this. It's still just kind of outside this buy zone. You can do what you want, friends. I mean, I don't really care. I'm just telling you, look, it's outside of the buy zone here. Yeah, I mean, that's still great. 3x on your pulse up here. If it pumps up here, that's still a 6x. They're fantastic. And this is a special one as well. Like, this is Tangang, friends. If I change it to the pulse pricing, I wonder if it's going to get up there. I mean, this is a weekly, by the way. This is a weekly. I don't know how high it's going to go. Another 5x. It was funny, this move, right, when I got in here, it was funny. I did this move and everyone laughed at me, right, because 16x. But now I go to the same distance and everyone says it's FUD. So before it was too high, now it's FUD. That's okay. That's fine. That's what makes a market, right? Too high, too low, doesn't really matter. I've shown you a couple of things. That's why I'm just alerting you. The pDAI one, it flipped green on the weekly SuperTrend. Now, it does not mean go all in. It doesn't even mean it has to go up. I'm just alerting you, like, yeah, a signals proc. That's it. So luckily, I had enough faith to front run that flipping, because I did the messages and videos here for you, friends. That's why I made my lottery ticket videos. So I didn't even need it to confirm. I'm like, yeah, man, you guys, this, because I'm just ground research here. That's why I'm here 18 hours a day. Like when Dilly Boo, like friends, from the Squatter Squad, when Dilly Boo asks me, can pDAI get to $1? I was like, bro, wow. I was taken back. I was like, of all the Pokemon coins out there, he thought about pDAI. You know, this is, and by the way, just letting you know, the Baby Doll Squirtle Squad, friends, we were so close to getting Shib. We were so close to getting Shib in December of 2020. We were so close, friends. I remember I was at my cousin's house, okay, and we're out in the backyard, and they asked me, and I remember the word, we talked about Doge. They asked me, friends, I've got to tell you something. I'm not fading my cousins. No one's fading my cousins anymore. They asked me, they said, hey, I want to get this Doge thing. And I just explained to them, go, look, it can go up and stuff. This is right before Elon started shilling it. Okay, it did a 300 freaking X from that point. You know what I mean? Like we didn't know. So they also, okay, there was also talks. I remember that night, someone mentioned the word Shiba Inu, and it was this tiny little coin. And I promise you probably think, oh, they probably had this massive thesis. They go, no. It is Doge is the dog. This is also a dog. That's it. That's literally as simple as far as it went. Oh man, but like we all like kind of like we spent 1 second on like, nah, I don't know. It sounds like a weird coin. We just moved on, but still no regrets. Imagine, I'm thankful we never got in. If we got in, I promise you would have sold. And you know, Shib did a 400x in a week. Imagine you put in $1,000, it became 400 grand. You got out. You're thinking you killed it. You think you're the genius. No. That 400 grand goes on to become 40 million because it does another 1,000x from that point. Oh, thank God we didn't touch that, friends. I'm telling you, I'd be depressed to this day. I'd still be depressed to this day. Your shitty little $1,000 becomes 400 grand. You think you're the genius. And then it ends up going all the way to get listed on Coinbase. So I'm not saying that's all going to happen here. You don't need it to happen here. I'm just showing you these market caps are freaking nothing, man. Like if people are buying Shib at 40 billion valuation, what happens if PulseChain's at 20 billion and it's flipped Cardano at some point? By the way, if Cardano does a 2x from here and PulseChain flips it, PulseChain's got a 40 billion valuation. So buying stuff at 30 million market cap, dude, that's nothing. That's a literal complete joke. Okay, so there you go, friends. You know, my bags are packed. I will keep adding, by the way, and I guess we'll see what happens where we are when Euphoria arrives. Like, subscribe, bell button, all. Once again, please. You're listening to a guy in an Ash Ketchum Pikachu Pokemon hat. Catch you soon.